more an upper body thing for many.
It's into the loop section. The whole thing backs in, it slides. It's honestly, it's a pleasure to ride around this track.
You just like showing off. 1.2 they say. It's actually 1.5 back from Alex Rins to Rossi now. So in here, that Suzuki, I would suggest, will use its tyres less than the Honda.
Definitely around here. They've got the same
pace, but if it drops away too far, they are nearly 2 seconds. Vinales is nearly 2 seconds back on a rather dull run of form at the moment, I've got to say, for Petrucci on the Ducati. Alicia Spargaro on the Aprilia is 11th. That's a great ride from him.
Literally, since that summer break,
Danilo
Petrucci has been nowhere.
Yeah, but you've got Petrucci and Dovizioso having a hard time on Suzuki. Here comes Maverick Vinales on the doctor. So hearts are being broken. Massive Valentino Rossi.
Using all that 40 years of experience, Keith, and not getting carried away at this point of the race.
Marquez just being hounded by any disrespect from Marquez, that's for certain. We saw it, didn't we? And he said, I used to be a little bit timid, but not now. Gone unceremoniously on its side. An easy fall to make. And the other hill, tricky bit of the course, this at Vale. Camberley fell earlier on in the weekend.
And it was at the exact point where you release a brake, get on the throttle. We've seen a lot of crashes there at Vale this weekend.
It should have a little bit more. Not bad.
I've got a feeling.
Did the Honda roll it?
Yes. And Rins.
There's Morbidelli. I did say I thought he looked like he was squaring up for a snapback straight at Cal Crutchlow. And that's it.
Rins was over the line 2.7. It's now down to 1.8. The gap from third to second.
And if they keep...
They're doing 2 minutes 0.4, 2 minutes 0.1, the leaders. Let's see what it is as they come over the line.
Jack Miller chasing Cal Crutchlow, his mate, but 2 minutes for Vinales and Rossi. There's Zarco, the man who has announced that he will leave KTM.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Well, he was right at the apex as Oliveira just...
Do you know what's happened, Keith? With Rins and Marquez messing around, so the gap's come down to 1.7, but on
Phillip Island a little bit with Marquez, where he backed off and let his tyres come back to him for a while before he pulls the pin in the later stage.
Also, we've seen Dobby do this in the past, where he rolls off for a lap or two and then pulls the pin. The good news is he can't break Rins.
Management will try and pull him out of it, but obviously they deem that being race fit, you've got to get out there and do a bit of work, and he is. So Lorenzo shot.
He'd gone for a slightly softer compound than some of the others, but it was destroyed for a Moto 3 bike.
That Suzuki looks cool, calm and collected, despite the fact that Marquez has just stuck in the fastest.
Want to beat me. And it's a good little tip, that, and that's what basically Marquez happened between these two.
Oh, you can go. This is great stuff. Petrucci should not be battling with a KTM and a couple of Aprilias. But he is. By contrast, has really chucked everything at it and puts in such a lot of work. If Jack Miller has obviously made a mistake somewhere, these two now back in reverse order, it down to Alex Rins. I suspect not.
The problem is he's just circulating around the same time as
in grip. The corners, you're really going to notice it. Look at the way the rear tyre spreads out over the track as you see. A situation where the last lap of this race, we're going to see something along the lines of a lunge up quite like that, but there's a gap.
Rins
to Vinales.
Oh, sorry, not Rins. Vinales, Marquez, and beating him, so...
That was Texas.
Yes.
Joe, this is closing down closer and closer. That's done. 1.6 again, the gap back to Rins and Vinales. It's yo-yo place man Morbidelli as well, so Rossi having a lonely time back there in fourth place. It's about the front.
Pin 3, full power, let's go.
See what it does, but of course if you haven't got the tyre that allows you to use that... Afternoon, Jamie, if you're watching. You better be.
I'm sure he will be.
Marquez, he's got more ammo. Rossi still fourth, Morbidelli, Crutchlow still sixth in front of Jack of the group. As we go back, this is going to be horrendous. On board with Dobby, as turning right in front of him. Wow. Straight. It looks like Marquez is running out of tyre, and you can see there the confidence of the Suzuki on the front, and tight for it when he turns right here, just asked for the power, and out it comes from the rear end. Gets it all back under control. Says it all. 0.3 still, back to Rins. Maverick Vinales, 0.6, 1.6 now, back.
Look at that. To react, so exactly. I know, what you do.
I think Rins has got both the pace back down really quickly after that mistake, which gives me an indication, gives everyone an indication, gives him an indication that he might...
Out of time.
Question is, Has Marquez... Oh, hang on. Is Marquez in this closing stages? 2 laps to go as they come to the line. Marquez +0, it says. They're encouraging Marvin for Maverick Vinales.
What's incredible is we're seeing the Suzuki that's strong in some parts of the track, but really weak on the...
Honda is still a little bit quicker than the Suzuki down the back straight, the hanger straight. So this is Abbey. He's got to be closer than that because Marquez on the Honda will be... Has he got an opportunity?
Here he goes!
He goes! Underneath him at Aintree, onto the back straight, Wellington straight we're on now. That's tyre grip. Oh, that's Barry Sheen versus Kenny Roberts. 1979, 40 years ago there. Corner, Beckett's corner, and then finally Chapel corner, turn 6 out onto the hanger straight. We're there now. Marquez has got to do it right now. This is what it looks like back in the Yamaha camp, but it's all about Mark for the Suzuki. Can he get underneath Marquez coming down into the bottom gear braking area of the loop? So the Suzuki cuts to the inside. He's looking for the cutback. This is where he went past Marquez before. This time he sits in with him. And Alex Rins. Rins
gets it over the line!
Him on the line. Tyre left to outdrive the Honda to the line in the British Grand Prix. Suzuki are excited of the corner, all through the first part of it, and then Rins cut back and drove him to the line. The line, by the way, is in the middle of that.
Get on at all. He doesn't like Marc Marquez one bit, and there's not a better feeling. Do you know what? I wondered what he was doing.
On Woodcote, he didn't have a tyre with him to drive to the line. That's the second weekend on the trotting Grand Prix where he just had a bobble in the last drive.
The feeling.
That turned out to be a bit of a combination of situations there.
It was a combination of well, he's going to have a word with himself on the cooling down lap to put the smile on, because that's a painful...
Jack Miller slipping behind the factory Ducati in the end to finish in 8th place. Paul Espargaro, a good 9th place on the KT.
Wow, what a win though. If you're going to win a MotoGP race, Keith...
Served its tyres, which is all part of it.
I hope.
That's
Marquez run out of fuel, or... Actually, yeah, that's a fair point.
So the whistles are blown. Davide Brivio. Right. Yeah, it was Rins who came over to Mark. Proper job. That's just full well that Casey Stoner was about to explode. And the words were, your ambition outweighed your talent. He said, great. Team Suzuki always ran out of Great Britain in the past.
Sylvain.
Yeah, Sylvain Guintoli, I was talking about him earlier. You were talking about the lap before.
That was a lap before.
Yep.
And I don't know if Rins was having a word with him in the... about Marquez's. There it is. That was a big one.
That was the one. He lost it at the back end, couldn't drive to the line, and that
was it.
Great celebrations for Suzuki.